Hello, 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 everyone, and thank you for joining us for our new Edward J. Lewis II Lawyers in the Classroom program series. For those of you who aren't aware, the Chicago Bar Association's Edward J. Lewis II Lawyers in the Classroom program has existed for over 30 years. The program, which was originally a part of Constitutional Rights Foundation Chicago, involves me, Tiffany Watson, director of the program and former teacher and administrator, placing attorneys in second through eighth grade social studies and social sciences and literature classrooms to teach students about the U.S. Constitution, their constitutional rights, our legal system, and their rights and responsibilities under the law. Now, under the auspices of the Chicago Bar Association's 501c3 since 2019, the Lawyers in the Classroom program has continued to flourish. Attorney volunteers are partnered with teachers to provide students with grade level lessons and knowledge based on real life experiences, help them develop their critical thinking skills, and offer young people an opportunity to interact with a variety of positive adult role models. The purpose of this series is for you to learn more about our participants in the Lawyers in the Classroom program, i.e. our attorney volunteers and teacher partners, while also learning about what they've experienced during our Lawyers in the Classroom visits. Today, we are speaking with one of our longtime teacher partners, Mr. Jose Morales. Mr. Morales is an eighth grade social studies teacher at Everett McKinley Dirksen Elementary, and we're just so pleased to have him here with us today. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Morales.
You're very welcome.
So just to get things started, what made you decide to be a part of the Lawyers in the Classroom program? I know you've been a part for quite a while.
Yeah, I think this would make it the 6th year that I've been part of the program. It might be 7 actually. I do recall. It just really happened by chance. Our CPS's social science department had, they sent out a monthly letter about professional development opportunities for all teachers. And I happened to see the flyer about a summer institute for the Constitutional Rights Foundation. And I attended completed the 2-day professional development. And from there, I was given the opportunity to have attorneys partner and come to the school and visit. And I thought that would be something that would be great and beneficial for all our students. So that's really how the partnership started for me.
And we're so glad that you've maintained that partnership, because we have transitioned on to the CBA, and we're just so grateful that you stayed with us. And you mentioned benefits of the Lawyers in the Classroom program. What do you believe are some of those benefits, having been in the program for so long, for both you and your students?
Well, for me personally, I've taught 7th and 8th grade, and we spend quite a good amount of time as part of our curriculum talking about the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And for the students, being able to learn about it on whether it's on paper or watching it through numerous resources that we use here to learn about the Constitution, but combining that with having the attorneys actually come into the classroom and then talk to them about what they've learned, whether it's the Bill of Rights or our legal system. It's very beneficial for them, because it gives them an opportunity to see that I always tell them that the Constitution is very much a living document, and that it applies to so many different aspects of our daily lives, whether it's being at school, just walking around the city, or having to do numerous things that require some sort of knowledge of not only the Constitution but our legal system. And it does offer them the opportunity to hear actual practicing attorneys to talk about the law in our legal system.
Definitely. And also just making sure that they know their rights, right? So that's
absolutely
the discussion that they get to have with attorneys. I often have been in classrooms where they've asked, they've asked those questions, that they've always wanted to know, and that there they have a legal expert in the room. So, Yeah, that's definitely a plus. How have your students demonstrated what they've learned through the Lawyers in the Classrooms lessons, or from any discussions you've had in class, or anything that you can share?
Um, well, I think one that stands out to me, it's like it happens almost every year when we start talking about our judicial system. Um, we spend a good amount of time talking about how the legal process works. So we discuss criminal versus civil cases, and that's like the kids ask me so many questions about, as you mentioned, their own rights, not only as students but also as citizens. And I think for them, see having them having the attorneys present, they gain a better understanding, and it certainly clears up many of the misconceptions that they have about how our legal system works. Because I think, just like, you know, most people, I think most of their experience comes from watching television and watching movies, and they get certain ideas about how the legal system works. So to actually have an attorney or have the attorneys talk to them and explain to them, like, this is how jury selection actually works. Like, this is how the process works for a civil trial or a criminal trial. And then hearing them interact with the attorneys, I think that's not only is it such a positive interaction, but I think it clears up many of the misconceptions that they have about how our court system and our the legal system works.
Indeed, indeed. Um, it- Having been a part of the program for so long, I'm wondering if you have any favorite experiences or highlights that you'd like to share. I know you participated this year remotely.
Mhm.
Our program was remote, but I've also, connected with you in the classroom and
Mhm.
the attorneys in the classroom. So any experiences you want to share?
Um, I think overall the they've all been great experiences having the attorneys be here, obviously. And I think once after that first visit, it's especially on the second and third, the kids are excited to have the students, and plus they get a break from having me teach them all the time. So it's nice it's nice for them to have the attorneys present. And I think overall they, the curiosity that comes from them asking them about their career and how they actually became attorneys and practicing the law. Um, I think the Q&A sessions definitely at the end of the lessons, where the kids have an opportunity to ask the attorneys about the type of work that they do. That's certainly something that stands out, especially because from the attorneys that we've had a good variety, from attorneys that specialize in property or criminal defense, and another one was, I believe, trademarks. And it's great to have the attorneys talk about the work that they do, because I think for the kids, they understand that, oh, being an attorney isn't just criminal or defense. Like, there's many different types of law that you can study, and you can still, you can be involved in the legal system in that manner. Um, as far as like any, like, I don't know, like funny things that stand out, um, I think probably was a few years ago. We had attorneys from McDonald's in the classroom, and I think one of the kids asked, "Oh, can you tell us, like, something that someone or something that a new product that's coming out?" And I think one of the attorneys told him about a sandwich that was coming out in the fall. And when it actually happened, the kids were freaking out. They're like, "Oh my gosh!" They're like, "It actually happened." So it was pretty funny. Like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Wait!" I'm like, "I hope you've learned about the Constitution too, not just about the sandwich that he told you about." So that was pretty funny when
That's
when that
funny.
happened. Yeah.
Scoop.
Yeah, they got them. They did. They really did get the inside scoop that one time. They were laughing. We were all laughing about it because they came back and they were so like surprised and excited. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I saw the commercial for the sandwich." Or I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, well, there you go. You got the inside scoop. He wasn't bluffing."
Right, for sure. I mean, who is this asking about McDonald's if you have McDonald's attorneys in the class?
Right, right.
But that's awesome. I'm glad. So that also shows like there was a relationship there. You have been partnered with a few attorney teams. So I'm
Mhm.
glad that the students have experienced criminal, corporate, you know, an array of attorneys where they can ask questions. And that's another piece of the program that we're so proud to offer to the students. So thank you again for taking the time to meet with me to discuss the Lawyers in the Classroom program, but most importantly, thank you for your partnership. So thank you again, Ms. Morales.
Oh, you're welcome. And we look forward to, hopefully more years to come.
For sure, for sure. Thanks so much.
All right, you're welcome.